to learn how to light the face. In this course, we scrap all the unnecessary, overwhelming information that you see online today. Here's what you actually need to light the face. My name is David Bishom. I am the light shaping expert at Profoto Academy. And in this course you will learn 1. The 5 pitfalls of lighting a face. 2. Different face lights. 3. The 3-note chord. The 5 pitfalls of lighting a face. Which are they and how can you avoid them? Different face lights. Standard face lights with 1 light, 2 lights and 3 lights for typical portrait lighting. And the 3-note chord. The 3 notes all light modifiers impact. So join me in this course and I will show you how to get started today, no matter the equipment you're using.
Hello and welcome.
Hello,
Anders here.
and David here. Hello, hello.
Welcome to Academy Live episode 5. Today I think we got finally all the technical stuff up and running. We've been test running and double, triple, quadruple running. So hopefully everything goes well. So what do we have here? We have a whole bunch of people here. We got from Dubai, Orange County. We see some Swedish guys here as well. A lot of friends out there. Today's episode is going to be dedicated to the face. Not that face or this face, just faces in general.
Any faces in general, and particularly faces on people though.
Yes. And why are we doing it today? Well, for those of you who have already been to profoto.com or have registered to My Profoto and get the newsletter from Profoto, you've seen that today we've launched some pretty cool material from about Jon Rosso, a photographer who's shooting a lot of celebrities, Leonardo DiCaprio, etc. And there's a whole article about him and also a short video that we will show at the end of this episode. We'll show you that video. But there's a lot of cool stuff, and I think I can show you how that looks like on the web, if I can just find, there we go. Here's the web page. So here you see profoto.com, and you see the article about Jon Rosso, and he talks about how he's working with different lighting patterns, etc. on all the celebrities. And that's why we decided, well, why don't we talk about how to light a face, since that is also the second course in the fundamentals of lighting.
Yes, the course Fundamentals of Lighting, we're talking about how to light a face.
Yes.
And that is what we are going to dive a bit into.
Yeah,
today.
so we'll give you some tips and tricks from that course. Because we basically cover 5 different pitfalls that photographers normally can fall into when they're shooting.
I have actually, I have been teaching light for quite a while, and I always, I found myself standing in the same position that people have trouble with the same stuff, same things that they always end up with, and I have broken them down to 5. I call them pitfalls, 5 common mistakes that if you know them, and if you know how to avoid them, then you probably will end up in a good portrait light. So on the question, how do you light a face? I would say, how do you not light a face?
Yeah.
And there you have those 5 things to avoid that probably will make you end up in a good light on the face. So
And also sometimes it could be a cool effect to actually use one of those pitfalls
Of
and make
course,
it deliberately.
Of course, all these rules, they aren't rules. They aren't meant to be broken, but they are meant to be known. If you know them, then you can use them to create even more, organic looks and such.
Yeah.
But you need to know them.
Or scary looks as well.
Scary looks, exactly.
So it can be when you need that for Halloween pictures and so forth.
Exactly.
And obviously Andy says, good to see you and hear you. Well, thank you, Andy. Yeah, I think we finally got it. Stacy from Indiana. Wow, cool. I'm glad to see. Oh, there's some Swedes as well. Proper exposure and crystal clear sound. Thank you, Joachim. Yeah, we heard you loud and clear last week, so we did our utmost. And we got California here as well, North Carolina. We got some people from Poland, Romania.
And Danieli,
Oh,
Naily.
here's a question from...
Where did David get those heads? Well, I have actually kind of made them. They are handmade out of a So I sold them actually. I used to sell them, but they are out of stock, so there isn't any. But you can check on my website.
Bicho.se, right?
Yes.
So bicho.se.
Yes.
And these heads are a little bit special because they have a kind of a matte skin, so they show the reflections pretty, or gradients, etc., kicker lights, etc., very well, versus a regular mannequin head, they are too glossy.
Yeah, and the eyes are reflective, and the heads doesn't show light. The light doesn't go through and such.
Opaque.
Exactly, they are
Yeah.
opaque.
One of our
But
favorite
sorry, unfortunately, I'm sold out of them.
Yeah.
But check out my site.
Are there some coming in?
We have something up and coming. Yes.
Maybe. Okay,
Yes.
cool. We got people from Cape Town.
Wow.
And Toronto and UK. Cape Town, I'm actually going down there because I'm going up to Botswana end of July. So I'm going to fly through Cape Town up to Botswana, to Muan, and shoot some animals.
Shoot. No,
Shoot
shoot.
with a camera.
Yes, shoot with a camera.
We do not kill people.
And perhaps light them.
We will actually, we will use flash, which is kind of exciting. And we'll be sending some from live from there as well during the summer. So make sure you follow the channels, and we will be covering that. But back to the course, we talked about the pitfalls, but we also show a lot of light patterns in there.
Yes, the light pattern. The word light pattern, maybe we should explain that. That is, we show a lot of light patterns. That is different standard ways of how to light a face. You have probably heard of short light, broad light, butterfly, and so on. And those are light patterns. And in the course, we go through a lot of them. Exactly, this is an example of...
So we show you some examples.
Yeah.
So you shot Ken with a lot of different light patterns, and in the online course on Academy, you will get an image of how it looks like in camera.
And actually, could I put in that, I heard a comment that why don't you use a real model? And the thing is that when you are learning light, I would say that to have the same face when you are teaching yourself how to place those shadows exactly, to have the same face all the time makes you focus on the light. And then when you know how to nail that, you can put in a person, but then you know what to look for.
Yeah.
If you have a different person every time, it's going to be quite more difficult to really nail those lights and to really look and know what to look for, not to be distracted by a human person that is moving around and such. So when you're learning it, then I think that it's better to have like a doll or something that is really the same all the time.
Yeah, because I mean later in this episode we will set some light patterns. One is, for example, butterfly, which could be a bit tricky when you look like us.
Yeah,
with beards.
because I have a crooked nose and I have a lot of beard and stuff. But if you know what to look for, then you know what you are. You know what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any beard, then it's more easy. But yeah.
We got some more people joining in from Zimbabwe and Mexico. Mexico, that's actually pretty cool that you're watching, because I know there are a lot of people here in Sweden that are watching a game right now, a soccer game, where actually Mexico and Sweden are playing together.
Yeah, Sweden and Mexico are playing. And I just heard some bouncing in the floor. I suppose that it's probably have been some kind of goal at this
Yeah.
very moment.
Yeah, one of the teams probably have scored.
Yeah.
But we're here for you guys, and we'll catch up on how it goes in this soccer sport ball thingy
Yeah, we think it's like 1-0 or something.
to somebody. Yeah.
To someone.
But then going back to the course, we'll show you the image of the light pattern, how it looks like. We also show you a picture from above, so you see it from a camera above, so you see approximately where the stands are and where the camera is. So if you want to practice and replicate, then you see kind of how David has set up the gear. But there's also a view from the side, because sometimes it's more visible to see also what happens from the side. Because sometimes it happens, we get some light on the background, or we put a kicker light, or we put those halos in the back, so you can easily see that. But anywho, that was the different areas, the topics that we cover in that course, and the course kind of closes with a shoot with Hannah Larsson as a model, and Brandy as an artist setting up a whole flower sculpture.
Yeah, maybe you have seen the image before. I think it was on before we started this show. Yeah, that image is the one that we end up the whole course with. That all those details are into that image.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, any questions? Oh, Sweden scored a goal. That's what we're getting here on the chat. Almost 2-0 now. And we got people from Dubai. Cool. So, my thought here is, why don't we get started and shoot? And look at some pitfalls, and also, but let's start with some light patterns. So let's look at David when he shows us, I'm thinking maybe butterfly and maybe a short light.
Yeah, I think a butterfly and a short light would be good examples of this.
This was a very common and nice light. So let's pop over to the camera.
Yes, and as I just have to, is it this camera on?
Yes.
This is not chewing tobacco, it is Swedish tobacco. We keep it in the head for a long time. Okay, so I thought that that we should do the butterfly light, and to our help we have this Mr. Ken head again, and we have a flash, and we have a camera, and we have Mr. Anders on handheld camera. Let's see if you can get it up and rolling. It looks really intense. Yeah, cool. I can switch over to that camera. Whoa!
Whoa! Hello.
So we have the camera, and we have Mr. Ken, and we have a light here. And as you can see, I have actually put the light on a stand that has this kind of, it's called a lazy leg. I removed this one so it's more easy to see, where we can extend the leg, so the whole stand is leaning. So then I can shoot under the flash, so I won't get the stand in the middle of the frame. Nice. But I put on this weight just because I'm kind of clumsy, and I tend to make things fall over. So
this is the Manfrotto Nano Pole stand, which I really love that one. Not that we're sponsored by Manfrotto, but it is a very versatile stand, especially working with the A1, since you can pop off the legs and you can have it as a regular pole. And then with the lazy stand, because normally when you try to set a butterfly, you end up having with the stand right in front of the model.
Yeah, that is kind of.
But then you've done something else with the A1, right?
Yes, this is
in a very interesting position.
Yeah, this is a tip I really would like. I would like to bring out into the world, because I put the A1 on a swiveling head like this.
That's so also Manfrotto tilt head something.
Yeah,
something.
Manfrotto tilt head something for speed lights and A1s and such.
Yeah.
So on this one I have the flash straight out like this, and I have the display downwards. So if I have the flash right as high up, I can still see the numbers. And then I twist down the flash head like this.
Yeah,
So-
but you have to twist it, or you have to turn it around, right?
Yeah.
So,
So if the head usually is like this,
yeah.
then I just turn it around so I can get it down. So now I have this horizontally straight down like this.
Okay, cool.
And we also have, now I have this, the dome on, the accessory, the dome,
Yeah.
that creates a light pattern that it's,
Which we talked about last week.
yeah, last week.
And if you missed it, I would recommend you to go into Profoto's Facebook page, and you'll have the last week's episode there. We really went through all the different modifiers
Yes.
and the effect they had. and so
Exactly.
forth.
And just a quick quick run through of the dome. The dome doesn't make the light go like this. It doesn't make a bigger light pattern. It makes the light pattern be even softer in the edges. So it's a really nice light pattern.
Yeah, so
Really
the fall
soft
off.
fall. The fall off is super nice and round with the dome. That is what the dome do.
Cool.
That is what the dome do. It sounds like
The
a
do
song.
dome.
The do dome. Exactly. So this is just a standard super duper simple setup that creates the butterfly light. And let's just push the trigger on the camera and just to see if we get what I intended.
So will you switch over to?
I switch over to here we go. Why don't I see?
Oh, capture one. Should be here.
Like froze when your phone rang.
Dang it. So we'll see. Let's try this. Running, ready.
Do like this. Meanwhile, I
So-
think we should. Yeah.
I'll just disconnect the display and
So
connect it.
many technical stuff. And right now, the screen hangs
No,
from the
yeah,
computer.
so everything froze.
Maybe the live stream too.
It looks like we're moving, but not the.
Yeah, you're still standing there.
So at least now you should see the picture. And so tell me, talk
Yeah.
about this picture. What's happening here? What
Yeah,
have you
okay,
done?
so the picture, what we have done now is the butterfly light that we can see. And that is all about the shadow from the nose. That is what defines the butterfly light. That the shadow under the nose looks like a butterfly flying towards the camera. Let's see if I can draw. So the shadow under the nose here, I'm trying to make an arrow. This looks like a butterfly flying towards the camera. And that is why it's called the butterfly light. And there is a lot of small details that you as a photographer can control with this one. I wouldn't say that this one is a super duper perfect one, so I actually I will try to make a better one, because the nose, the shadow from the nose, a thumb rule can be the height of the shadow of the nose, where to put it. And I would say that, let's see if I can get. So there we are. The shadow of the nose really loves to be in the middle between the bottom of the nose.
So let's switch over to that one.
Ah, yes. So the bottom of the nose, I draw it here, and the upper lip in the middle of the upper lip. That's supposed to be an arrow. So when you place the nose shadow in that position, that is done by raising or lowering the flash. So if I do like this, I move the flash a bit closer, then the shadow will go deeper down on the lip. Let's look at this one. And of course it's a bit brighter, so I just do like that, a quick So now you can see the nose shadow is a bit deeper down. Let's do it a more extreme so we really can see what I mean when the nose shadow is too far down, like this. Now this tends to just look like a big black blob under the nose, like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the nose shadow, that is something you as a photographer can look after, can look and place exactly where you want it. And that is why I like to say that a good rule of thumb is to place it on the middle of the, how do you say that in the correct English, Anders?
Halfway on the upper lip.
Halfway on the upper lip.
Exactly, midway.
The midway, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So in the middle of the, somewhere around here.
Yeah, that is a really good position to place it, because if you have a perfect face like me, I just, yeah, thank you for that laugh to enhance that I'm kidding. What camera are we on now? The big
We're
one?
on the big one?
Yeah. So a person's face with a nose, when it sticks out like this, when the sun or a flash or anything that lights hits the face, you will have the shadow somewhere on the lip. And depending on how high you have the light source, the shadow will move accordingly, of course. So if you place shadow on the halfway down the upper lip, that means that the nose is not super duper long or super duper short. It's kind of normal in this kind of faces. Now we have people from all around the world, with people with really big noses and really small noses, but this used to be a good rule of thumb anyway. Because when the nose are on the halfway down the upper lip, that means that most of the other parts of the face used to be kind of well lit. It will be well lit anyway. So that is a really good rule of thumb.
So how about a, well, so this is, of course, it's not only called butterfly, it's also called paramount.
Paramount lighting, yes.
Why is that?
That is because there was this guy, I forgot his name, a guy who found this very, very famous actress called Marlene Dietrich.
Yeah.
And he found her, and he said that, I really would like to make a film with you. This was in her early beginnings. Marlene Dietrich was a German actress, and he started to put some light on her and saw that she becomes so beautiful when he did this kind of light.
Yeah.
Because it enhances the cheekbones, it puts a really big shadow on the neck that, you know, hides any wrinkles and such, and it creates the butterfly under the nose. And she also loved that light so much, so when she got really famous, she demanded all the film production companies to always do this light on her, the Paramount light or the butterfly light. And she was she was signed by the Paramount Film Company. That is why it's also called Paramount Lighting.
Yeah.
So Greta Garbo, Paramount,
Yeah.
Butterfly Lighting, Paramount Lighting.
Very good one too, if you want to make someone's face small, thinner, and also hide any floppy parts like I have under my chin.
Floppy parts like under Anders' chin, exactly.
The turkey part here.
Precis.
Blah, blah, blah.
So since you are really enhancing the parts that is sticking out from
Yeah.
the face, the cheekbones, the nose, the lips, and you get the shadow on the neck, and the heads goes really, how do you put it, three-dimensional.
Yeah, cool. But sometimes, so that's a very good one when the face is straight forward to the camera.
Yes.
But if it's not, sometimes it's a little bit sideways or in the conversation with someone, then we quite often talk about the short light as a very much preferred one.
The short light. Anders, could you please confirm that you can see my face in this camera?
I can see your face, unfortunately, yes.
Yes, I'm so sorry for that part. But if I look like this, if I turn my head like this, can you see this ear?
No.
Can you see this ear?
Yes.
Yes. And this angle is kind of common when you're shooting, especially when you're shooting like, how do you say it, a documentary.
Yeah.
Not a portrait
documentary
looking,
style or
yeah, documentary
events
style.
or, yeah.
Exactly, like weddings and such.
Yeah.
The head is slightly turned away from camera like this. If you then put the light, you can put it either from this direction or this direction.
Yeah.
And if you put it from this direction, then this part of the head, the short part where you don't see the ear, That's why it's called short lighting, because the direction is toward the short half of the head. If you put the light in that direction, you will get a short light. And that also is really enhancing and kind of flattering, because it hides a lot of stuff in in a face.
Yeah. We got some comments here from Christopher here that the Paramount lighting started by Travis Banton.
Thank you, Travis.
Yeah, so Christopher, thanks for helping out there.
Yeah,
we love that. Now we have Ken turned a little bit. And
yes, I turned Ken just a tad, and I will go and look into the camera to see that he isn't too much turned. Oh, it's just great. I just twist the camera a bit. So now I will just light him straight on, just to show what we are doing. Like this, straight.
Oh, we got some help from Mike Hutchinson as well. He put the link, the Manfrotto link, where you have all the right process web link. So it's in the comments. You can find the link. Thanks, Mike.
Don't you just love Mike?
Yes. And Max Sjögren, he bought one A1 and he's really very satisfied with it. I'm glad to hear that. So let's see what happened.
Yeah. Now I just put the light straight onto Ken, just to see what we are dealing with here. I just find the right exposure. Is it the computer on now?
Yeah, computer is on. It's a bit tad dark.
That okay? Let's go up a bit.
Turn it. Can you see the?
Yeah. Okay. So here we have a head. The light is straight on.
Yeah.
So Anders, if you could draw what I'm talking about.
I'll try.
Yes. Could you please mark out the center of the head? Now Anders is trying to draw a line over the forehead, down the nose, the lip, and the chin, and he is done. Great work, Anders. So the right part of your line now, Anders, that is the broad half, right?
Yes.
And the left part, that is the short part of the head. So what I'm talking about when making this short light, it is to aim the light, so the light is directed towards the short part of the head. So Anders, if you draw some kind of light symbol somewhere there, please, you should see his face when I asked him to draw in this beautiful drawing application.
Okay, we'll give it a try. So we'll do light source from here, and then we got light not beams, but radiation coming out from here. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I'm so skilled in this.
Yes. So there we have a beautiful image of when the light is aimed towards the short part, that will create what we call the short light. So I just move my light.
Let's see what's happening over here. So now you're moving it more or less.
I move the lights in this direction to aim it towards the short part of the face to create the short lights. And let's try and see what will happen. Actually, before I do that, I could actually do like this, like that, and maybe like that.
You will need a bounce card or something to block off light, or you tell me?
That would be nice, but maybe I could just try just to see where I'm.
So let's see.
See where I'm aiming. Where am I? No, it works.
It works?
Yeah, it
Cool.
works. So here we have the short light without bounce cards and such. And Anders, if you please, just could make an arrow this time from where is the light? Where are the light placed? Exactly, the light is placed towards the short half of the face. And this makes the face be thinner, since we are placing a shadow on that, on the other side. And of course now it's really super duper dark. But this is called the short light. So maybe we should get that reflector. You are so...
Oh, which reflector? The bounce card?
A bounce card, something just to fill those shadows on the broad side.
I did
and
put...
actually anything... Oh.
I had it right here.
Ah, you okay?
Oh, What did you want?
No, I thought that maybe you should just bounce some light here, because people usually tend to get afraid when they see a
you
shadow.
want to have like a reflector?
Yeah, some kind of reflector. Just to...
So let's pop on the big camera here, or the widescreen, so people see what we do. We're actually going to take out one of these guys.
And because this image on the that we just saw was, you know, a really obvious one. This is short light, but we do have the totally black side of the face. And how to get that to be brighter if we want to, that could be, this is one way, you know, just to put in some kind of white stuff
Am I
that
in
will
camera?
bounce the light. I see. No, you aren't. And actually, be exactly there. I'll take this image. And is it the camera? Is it the computer now?
No. Whoop.
So that is Anders filling the shadow. And I will now give a tip for this one. You see that the light from the filling is clearly coming a bit from behind. That creates a black shadow line. I can draw it.
Mm-hmm.
That creates this black shadow line here. And some people love it, some people hate it. I have no problem with it, but I know photographers really hate that black line.
And what would you do to get rid of that?
That is all about how to place the
So now,
reflection.
now I was standing with it kind of like this, angled towards the camera a little bit. So
Yeah. So now, if you do it like this, is it the big one now?
yeah.
Yeah. Then the light will come from behind. That will fill. It will be brighter the closer you are, and go darker and darker. That will create this black line.
So what if I do something like this? So
Yes,
I twist it a little bit.
You can try, but you still will have the line. So let's see. 3, 2, 1, and smack.
And let's see what happens.
So this was before, and this is after. Actually, you almost got rid of the line. That's good.
It was not the first time for me.
Yeah, you are so good, Anders. So, but what I wanted to show you, if I take this
Yep.
reflector, is that you can also, it's kind of tricky because now we have a camera in there, but you can actually do it maybe like this. So you get a bit more in front, so the light comes a bit more in front, so it will go darker in this direction.
So if you tell
away.
me when I'm in frame,
Yes.
am I in frame?
Nope. You
So I'll
aren't.
go to-
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Please go up again. That's great. Perfect. 3, 2, 1, and go. And there we got a really dark one. That's cool.
So it's some.
Yeah. Try
Right,
to.
let's try to do like this.
Yeah. And I will do like this. I remove the dome and I zoom back the flash head to get a bigger light image. So we will have more light hitting the reflector.
Oh, come on, switch. There we go.
Yeah, and you understand my point. My point is that you can direct, you can be kind of aware of in which direction the field light comes from.
Yeah.
That also creates those tones between light and shadow. So let's try this one.
Let's
I think
see.
that you actually should do like this, because you have a lot of light over there.
Yeah.
I think we might get through here.
So just tell me if I need to back
Yep.
a little bit.
Okay, back a little bit with your left hand. That's great. Could you stop there?
Yeah.
Could you please move your left hand 30 centimeters higher, because I see your fingers. That's cool. Thank you. So let's try this one. Let's see if we get. Yes. So now we tried to get the reflection a bit more from the front. So you can see the light here is a bit bright, but it's bright, and then it goes darker, darker, and darker, and darker. That feels more like it's wrapping around instead of, looking just like a fill light.
Yeah.
So direct the fill light. That is
So
a tip.
basically, if I have so I was moving kind of almost from the back, got a very, very strong black line here.
Yes, and I just want to emphasize that there's nothing wrong with that.
No, but that's, if you don't like it, then
Yeah.
I moved it a little bit further up here,
Yeah.
and then I moved it up, kind of up here.
Yeah.
So
to
those
get
were-
to try to get the light a bit more from the front. Then
Yeah.
you get this more wrappable light.
So it's like with any other light or light modifier. Don't be afraid of moving it around and see what kind of happens. You get a lot of different cool effects. If you have it from the back, you can almost create a kicker light.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and and nothing is wrong. All of them are right. So
Actually, I think there is one thing that is almost wrong. Almost, but not.
it's right in front of the camera like this.
That's true.
wrong. Yeah.
That is actually the worst thing.
Yeah,
ever.
that's wrong.
Yeah, but I see a lot of people do like this.
Yeah.
They try to fill the shadows from below, and that can work, but it can also create this really artificial look. And even worse, if this is silver, it can create a really scary look, because then you will have shadows upwards too.
Yeah, and then you get the columella is lit up a lot,
Yeah.
and you get the Frankenstein type of look.
Yes. So this is really, I never ever fill faces from below if it isn't supposed to look, that really studio look, like a super duper butterfly with one flash from above and one from below, or like this. Then you are looking for that particular look. But if you want this natural look, then this is kind of dangerous. You have to be really careful, because you can always light all the shadows from like this, horizontally.
Yeah, to make them lighter.
Yeah.
Those were some light patterns.
Maybe we should do this one, since you brought it.
What do you want to do with that?
I just want to...
So this is, I never know what David's going to come up with.
And I don't know what camera is on, but I think that
It's
one.
this
perhaps.
one, yeah.
I thought that
And
maybe...
you're kind of out of frame, so you have to move in closer.
Okay, let's move in closer.
Now you're in with us again.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
I thought that maybe we could use, this modifier we looked at last time, the bounce card.
Yeah.
I run towards here, the bounce card, because you can use the bounce card to create this really soft short light
Oh wow! Okay,
with the bounce card.
sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So if I just put this on like this, we will not succeed. But if I perhaps do like this, and I go like this, I bring it up and I bounce the light into the wall.
But remember, we've got black background.
Yeah, but I have a lot of white here. So I think we might succeed.
You're just about going out of the frame.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Now you're in again. So then you're good.
Yeah, I actually would need to twist the head and then have to move the camera. I will do that. I will do that.
Everything is mobile. You can move
Yes,
it.
everything is mobile. I do like this. So, Anders, if I'm out of frame, then maybe you could...
You are. Now you're definitely out of frame.
Yeah, let's go with the hand camera, or if you move the big one, because I think this is a really good tip.
Okay. So I'll jump over to the Handycam. Okay.
James Bond theme song.
Oh, we don't have copyright for that.
Oh,
I
sorry.
don't know if we can sing that.
Yeah, but I can sing it really badly, then perhaps it's okay. No one can tell. Okay, so what I have done now is that I move the camera so we get a short light. Yep.
Running out of cable. Tether cable is just about.
Yeah, I'm satisfied here. And some sharpness. Okay. I will try not to fall over this cable. So we have the camera, we have the head. Face is twisted a bit away from camera, so we can do the short light. And then I am just lighting up the wall, so we get a really big light source that Ken sees, which will create really soft light. Nothing strange about that. But the A1, I've used the bounce card. So if you come here and film from Ken's perspective, if I remove the bounce card, do you see the light?
Yes, I do.
That means
Sharp edges.
That means sharp edges, exactly. You will have a hard light on him. So the bounce card, when it acts like a barn door, when it acts like a barn door like this, then you can, with no problem, create this super
So you're
soft
kind
light.
of blocking it now with that one.
So now
Awesome.
this is the only thing that is the light source. So
Oh.
let's try.
Fire away.
Fire away. I will go up maybe 2 stops. 3, 2, 1, and let's try this one.
And now you have to do the switching.
Yes, I will do the switching. But before I do the switching, I can also make this even better. So if I back this up just a tad like this, and do you see this shadow here, Anders?
Mm-hmm.
This line, that is the shadow of the bounce card. So if I twist it, I can, really
Yeah,
control
yeah.
where the light is. And since I know that the image is really, the camera is really close to the face, I can put this line really close to the edge of the image. So let's switch over to, no, wrong computer. Here we have that one. So now we have a short light that is really, really soft. And I give it a bit more power, a half stop more, 3, 2, 1, and go. So here we have, you can see the edge of the shadow here, edge of the nose here, that is much more softer than before when we did the straight on this one. We got a really sharp line here, the edge is really, really thin, and here we have a really, really soft one.
Nice.
And thanks to the bounce card, we don't get the light directly on.
Cool. So we are gonna show one more thing. Now we're back here on the camera 2. I'm gonna switch over here to the PowerPoint, and I want to share with you guys that also in the How to Light a Face course, you get a whole bunch of different light patterns. We only showed a couple now, but you also get like a full chart with all the different types of light patterns and variations on it. David, tell us a little bit about what did you do here with this light chart? Because there's a lot of things happening here.
Yeah, I thought that what if I do a chart of all variations, like if you do a butterfly, you do a short light, you do a broad light, you do all these kind of light patterns, and mix them with different kind of lights on the background, the standard lights on the background, like a halo, like a gradient from different directions. So if I do this chart showing all kind of combinations, that will be like the ultimate chart.
Yeah, so you have kicker lights from the left, kicker lights from the right, you have halo on the back, and you have gradient from down going up, you have from left to right and right to left gradients, and then you have all the different patterns. You kind of can see what the effect will be, and then you can just pick and choose, and also in the course you see how you place all the different lights for the different effects.
Yeah, and my point with this is actually to show that all these parameters, like the face light, the light pattern in the face, that is one thing. Then you have the background, that is one thing, and you have the kickers, that is the third thing. So you can mix them anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't get stuck in like you have to do it this way. You can just mix this.
Yeah.
But as long as you know the basics of it, then you can do kind of anything. And I think that this chart shows the versatility of these 3 simple things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting now. Before we show the Jon Rosso video, I just want to give you kind of a teaser of next week's episode. We will talk about some simple tricks for cool backgrounds.
Yes, cool backgrounds. And here you can see an image when I'm sitting on a bench. Yes, this was taken from the image from the course about how to light a background. So everything you see behind me, we will talk about how that is lit and how to do that. So the next week's episode is all about simple tricks for cool backgrounds.
Yeah, and this is something that you can talk about for hours. Because there's so many different cool things that can be done.
And actually, I would say that is the most important part of lighting, the background, because you have normally you have a person in front of the camera,
Yeah.
and then you have a background. And the background always changes, and you can do so much with the background. You have it in layers, you can have depth, you can have it close, but the person, that is kind of the same all the time. So it is the background that should dictate how you light the front, or how you light the face, for example, and all the things you can do with the background. So I would say that how to light the background, that is the most important course, if I should, point out which of the courses are the most important one.
Yeah, I mean, that's also been one of my learnings as a photographer from listening to all your classes and doing the movie together with you. And one of my key takeaways, I've always focused on the subject, the person I'm shooting, and kind of not thought about the background so much. But now that I'm aware of the background, I'm exposing my camera for the background, I'm setting my lights depending on what's happening in the background. I'm putting lights on the backgrounds, making them all kinds of funky things happening, and all of a sudden, boom!
Yeah.
I mean, the pictures just pop out. I mean, it's just been fascinating for me to learn that.
Yeah.
Which is
I have done a lot of lighting for film and movies, and the background is the thing you put most work on.
Yeah.
So that is what creates the light to look natural, because in film light always have to look natural.
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to the background. So the background is so important, and it's fun that you have found
I've seen the light.
You've seen the light.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've seen the background.
Yes.
No, but it is really and it's fascinating. So, but I think we have one difficult task in front of us.
Okay.
And that is, what do we pick for next week? We got 1 week to figure that out, because I mean, there's so many. I can mention 10 different things that I like to show, but we can't do them all in this period of time that we have for the live show. But let's pick out a couple of cool ones, and maybe you can go. I think one of them will involve a knife.
Okay. Yeah.
So you have, it has to be. It will be a very dangerous episode. So it will be, safety goggles, helmets, and everything on. But we'll have some fun.
With a knife.
We definitely need to have a knife involved in it.
Okay.
But then there's some other tricks. But we'll figure it out. So it will be. I promise you, you don't miss next week's episode. It's going to be crazy fun. And it can go bananas as well, which we have a tendency to manage to do. But anywho, loved all you guys that you are watching and listening to us, and also we go in and look at all the questions and try to respond to everything. And there are really no crazy questions. I mean, we even last week we had a question about David's shoes, that the white ones with the white sole, that they look kind of cool, and they were asking what brand they were, and so we did respond to that as well. And so
all kinds of questions. Okay, but I would prefer. Yeah,
nothing is wrong.
Nothing is wrong. Exactly.
Nothing is wrong.
Even light questions, that would be really cool.
And we do get a lot of them, so we love that.
Yes.
So thank you so much. But with that, we'll round off this episode and show you guys the Jon Rosso video. A great photographer that does fantastic portraits. So with the press of a button, you'll get video and get a bye-bye from me, and maybe a
bye-bye from me.
Wow, awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And
bye-bye.
My name is Jon Rosso. I have been taking portraits of celebrities for more than 20 years. I have worked with almost every A-list movie star, as well as musicians, athletes, models, and other faces in entertainment. I would describe my personal style as clean, classic, and timeless. I try not to follow trends, but instead embrace a style that can stand the test of time. But the most important thing is I always want everyone I shoot to look their very best. Making people feel comfortable in front of my lens is definitely one of my biggest strengths. If someone isn't comfortable in front of my camera, neither of us will be happy with the final photos. When I saw the new ProPhoto D2 Duo Pack, I was so excited how light and simple they were for on-location shoots, and I have loved using them ever since I got them. For this shoot, I shot my friends Zach and Kara. Zach is a professional athlete, and Kara is a professional model. Kara's job is to look amazing no matter what the clothing, lighting, or location, so getting a great photo of her is a breeze. It's not Zach's job to get his photo taken, so making him feel comfortable in front of the camera was key. That's when you use lots of positive enforcement and just enough direction. Too little direction and they feel lost. Too much direction and they will get overwhelmed. For Zach, I chose to use a short lighting pattern. A short lighting pattern is when the shadowed side of a subject's face is closest to the camera. This type of lighting is great for slimming down a wide or round face. Zach's face isn't necessarily round or wide, but I thought this lighting would be great to accentuate his strong masculine facial features. For Kara, I went with a broad light pattern. This is when the lit part of the face is closest to the camera. Slim faces like Kara's can handle broad lighting, which tends to widen the face a bit. I chose this lighting because it seemed to emphasize her beautiful eyes. Both of these lighting patterns were created using the Profoto D2 with a Profoto medium deep umbrella with diffusion as the key light and a 5-foot Profoto Octabank as the fill light. The best part is, I didn't even have to move the light to achieve both these lighting patterns. I changed from broad to short lighting simply by moving the subject. I've been using Profoto since the beginning of my career. They never let me down.